Guys. I've checked the audience thing, which most of my audience watched, and at second or third place is where Zack D Films appears. And sorry my voice is weird because I have cold, but yeah, Zack D Films is like third or second place in my audience watched channels. Yeah, that's actually crazy. So we're gonna be watching Zack D Films today. Yeah. First, let's choose the latest videos Zack D Films has posted. Then we'll move on to the most popular ones. Yeah. Oh my goodness. First we're gonna choose the oldest shorts.
This is the oldest one. $60,000. Let's pretend this equals Jeff Bezos' net worth of $186 billion.
Nah, this editing is so cringe. That compared to this present editing, this is so bad.
This is what Oprah's net worth would look like. $850. Gary Vee would have a whopping $50. Mr. Beast's pocket change coming in at around $18. A millionaire would have about 33 cents. And the average net worth of a 35-year-old would be one single penny. This is $60,000. Let's pretend this equals Jeff Bezos' net worth of
This is Buc-ee's. It's the largest gas station in the world. It was started back in the 80s by a guy named Beaver. I kid you not.
Why is his name Beaver?
He started this gas station south of Houston. It was kind of just small and dinky. It kind of just looked like any other gas station. He teamed up with a business partner, and together they opened about 20 of these little gas stations near Houston until 2003, when they decided that they wanted to shake things up a little bit. And they opened a store in Luling, Texas, which is next to San Antonio. This gas station was big. Around this time, they also started selling t-shirts and Buc-ee's merch and their famous beaver nuggets. And you could arguably say that around this time is when the Buc-ee's cult following started to cultivate.
What did he say? I'm gonna unpause the video.
After 2003, they started opening many more of these big 50,000 square foot stores with hundreds of gas pumps. Eventually, they opened one up in Alabama and then Florida and Georgia.
Alabama and Florida and in Georgia?
Now there's 40 plus of these stores across the nation.
40 plus of these stores across the nation? Whoa.
This is Buc-ee's. It's the company opened their first store outside of Texas in Alabama.
Okay, this is the same thing.
The company's most successful while this company is, the Titanic is disappearing at an alarming rate.
Okay, this one's good.
Scientists are estimating that it will be completely gone within 20 years. And this is due to it being eaten away by bacteria and other marine life. New footage shows the captain's bathtub, a favorite image among Titanic enthusiasts. It's almost completely dissolved at this point. The Titanic currently resides about 2 miles below the North Atlantic. And while there have been
Whoa, that's so scary.
many schemes proposed to raise the Titanic, with its current condition, there's just no way.
And it has 3.2 million likes. What?
That can happen without severe damage. Not to mention, letting the ship rest and disappear in peace is probably the more ethical thing to do. The Titanic
that's creepy.
In the UK,
What is
there's
this?
an abandoned theme park called Dunblobin.
Visit the Snoblobby's house.
Dunblobin was originally made for little kids, but now it's completely taken over by nature. This abandoned park was one of many parks created by Noel Edmond and his fictional character, Mr. Blobby.
Why does he have a fictional character named Mr. Blobby? Why is he named Mr. Blobby?
Yeah, let's react to more of this.
Back in the 90s, Noel had a very popular TV show called Noel's House Party. It got so popular that Mr. Blobby, the main character, got its own set of theme parks. After about a decade, the parks went bankrupt. One was converted into a hotel, most were leveled and the land was sold, but for some reason, they decided to leave Dunblobin intact. People say the park is now haunted and ghost hunters gather there in hopes to see something supernatural. But in my opinion, the creepiest part of this story isn't the abandoned park. It's Mr. Blobby.
Why is it Mr. Blobby? Let's hold on.
In 1950, Whataburger opened its first location.
What in the heck is Whataburger? What? What is that?
In Corpus Christi, Texas. But what most people don't know is that around the same time, 1,200 miles across the country, another Whataburger was selling its first burger.
Huh? What? It's completely... That's terrifying.
Both Whataburger and Whataburger sold burgers for the next 20 years before they discovered each other. Once they learned of each other's existence, the two restaurants discussed merging into one company, but eventually decided to peacefully coexist. While one of these restaurants clearly outshined the other, the Virginia-based Whataburger is still in operation today. I think it'd be really cool if someone did a blind taste test of the two. In 1950,
Oh, pretty cool.
In 1998, a salvage company
Okay, that's
called
the same
RMS
thing.
Inc. This is Mr. Blobby.
Same.
And
Still not earning from YouTube?
That's
there is a
mad.
secret side of Disney World the company
World?
doesn't want you to see. If you look at a map of the park, there's a little green spot in the middle of Bay Lake. There's no
What? What is that island?
description of what it is, and it's completely off limits to everyone, including
Okay.
employees.
Okay.
Around 20 years ago, this
Including employees, whoa.
mysterious island was actually another Disney park called
Another Disney park called Discovery Island.
Discovery Island. You take a boat from shore, arrive at the island, and basically look at exotic birds.
What? That's it? Okay, that island's so boring.
Fast forward to 1999.
1999, wow, very specific date.
Animal Kingdom opens, and it's basically a bigger and easier to get to version of Discovery Island. This sparked the very quick decline of the island. Today, it's abandoned and in ruins, completely overrun by nature. It's also heavily guarded. If you're anywhere near Bay Lake, you can be assured that you're being watched. It makes you wonder if there's more to this island than Disney is letting on.
Oh,
There is a
my
secret side.
goodness.
There is a secret about Disneyland.
We all know this passage.
This 110-year-old ship was just found near Antarctica. And it's one of
Antarctica. Why are they shipping at Antarctica? To be honest, why?
the world's most well-preserved vessels to date. It belonged to explorer Ernest Shackleton, who got the ship stuck in the Weddell Sea's thick ice. Everyone on board abandoned the ship before it sank. The captain kept records of where he thought the shipwreck might be, and according to the team of scientists who found it, he was right. Once they were close to where they believed it was, they used an underwater search vehicle to locate it. This ship was so well preserved that the name etched across its stern is clearly visible in the footage. The extremely icy water is why it's in such good condition for its age. This 110-year-old
that's
ship was
cool.
just found near. There is a forest in North Carolina that is home to the Yogi
You know what? This is the last one.
Bear graveyard. Yes, this Yogi Bear.
What the heck?
Some say there's no explanation for these statues being here, but there's always an explanation. In the 1960s, the cartoon got so popular that the creators started a Yogi Bear restaurant to try and capitalize off the character's fame. The restaurants didn't do well at all, and most of them ended up closing. And this left the owners with a whole lot of statues of Yogi the Bear and other characters from the show. And instead of
Oh, okay. Look at this frame, dude. Why is this frame so bad?
sending them all to a dump, the company seemed to just dispose of them in a forest. And this area very quickly became known as the Yogi Bear Graveyard. On a side note, if you ever want to try the Yogi Bear restaurant, there's one left in operation. There is a...
Oh. Well, let's go to the latest ones now.
He was
This is the
seriously
latest
injured in a
one.
work accident.
It is 12 hours ago. And look at the editing comparing that to now. Look at the editing.
And declared dead until...
What? What is that great editing, dude? You know what? I'm gonna stop yapping and let's watch it.
Later, he literally walked out of the morgue. Next,
What the heck? Is he a ghost?
died of malaria,
Malaria.
but woke up
Woke up in a coffin?
inside his coffin. A year
What
later,
the
a car
heck?
crash killed him, but he came back to life.
How? How is this happening? How is this actually happening?
And after a venomous snake bite, he spent 3 days in the morgue before waking up.
He again woke up from a snake bite? He woke up from a snake bite as well.
Then he fell into a deep toilet pit
Toilet pit? Ew! That's sus. Toilet pit full of toxic waste.
full of toxic waste, but survived again.
What? What? How did he survive a poisonous liquid? How can anyone possibly survive a poisonous liquid? What? This is a ghost.
The villagers believed he was a ghost and
How did I predict that? The villagers believed he was a ghost and set
set
his
his home on fire to kill him once and for all. But he woke up in the morgue
How did he grow up? I mean, how did he wake up again? From the fire this time.
again, defeating death 6 times.
The title is He Cheated Death 6 times. Wow. And this video was 12 hours ago and I got 100,000 likes and 1 million views in just 12 hours. This is how popular Zack D Films really is. Next.
He saw that the horseshoe was missing a nail. Right
What's the title? Why you should never ignore small problems. Just 14 hours ago.
before he was supposed to leave. You see, he was carrying gold
Oh, very convenient.
to make a deal in the next town. And he knew he should fix the horseshoe, but he wanted to get there quickly to finish the deal.
Bro's a psycho.
So he just left. Hours later, that loose shoe fell off.
Oh no! Now the horse is gonna have a bad time.
The horse was stepping on bare hoof, but he decided to ignore it again, since he
What is psycho? What is psycho?
was already close to town. But then the horse started limping.
Oh no. It started limping.
For it collapsed and broke its leg.
What? He broke his leg. Now with no horse.
With no horse, he had to carry the gold himself. And by the time he got to the town, it was too late. The deal was gone. All because
Oh.
he ignored a small problem that grew until it cost him
Until it costed him everything.
He saw that the horseshoe was
What?
missing.
That's crazy. These are way better, by the way.
Slide the cards into this gap one at a time until
Okay, this is pretty good. I'm liking this one so far.
no more cards fit. Now
Okay.
count how many cards are in the gap
6?
and divide that number by 2.
By
Slide
2,
half
that
the
will
stack
give it
to one
2.
side and the other half to the other,
Other.
so the gap on both sides is exactly the same. Next, press the door up toward the top of the frame and do the same thing for the bottom gap. Mark where the hinges will sit and screw them into place. Now pull the cards out and the cabinet door will be perfectly
Whoa. 16 hours ago.
centered.
Do not use cloth.
If you started digging and just didn't stop, you might think you would eventually reach the
Yeah, maybe. I think so.
other side of Earth. But after just a few feet, the dirt would be really hard to move. Eventually, you would hit thick, compacted rock that a shovel just can't break through. If you pushed past that with a machine and reached a few miles down, it would be hotter than boiling water. At over 20 miles deep, you would hit the mantle, where rock is so hot it flows like lava. And even if you could survive it, the pressure would crush you long before you got close to the Earth's core. If you started digging and just didn't stop, if you shoved a baby's head into a...
Hey, yo! That's us. Hey, yo!
box like this, would it grow into the shape of the cube over time?
What the heck? Zack D films dumb. Okay, let's watch.
I mean, farmers do this with watermelons, which forces it into a satisfying cube shape.
Whoa! That looks cool!
So why wouldn't this work on a baby? Well, a baby's head has soft gaps between bone plates, which lets the skull expand as the brain grows. And technically, their skull would start to deform. But inside a watermelon is soft fruit, which can easily fill the square mold. Bone plates, on the other hand, would cause the skull to be flattened in some spots, while other areas bulge outward. This could create extreme pressure, which the baby probably wouldn't appreciate.
Why is it crying? Why is its face while crying so ugly? Looks so bad.
If you shoved a baby, her son was missing, and the police were desperate
Oh
to find him. And 5 months later, police
no! Los Angeles?
finally picked him up. Oh,
Los Angeles to Chicago? Chicago? That's far.
almost 2,000 miles
2,000 miles away, what?
away. But when he got home, his mother claimed it wasn't her son. Regardless, the police convinced her to take him anyway, so they could close the case. 3 weeks later, she showed them dental records that proved the boy was a stranger, but they still wouldn't listen. Instead, they said she was a bad mother and threw her in a psych ward. But the boy finally admitted he was a fraud who just wanted a free trip to Hollywood. And the
A free trip to Hollywood, wow.
woman's real son was never found.
Aww, that's so sad.
When he tried pulling the master sword off his back, it got stuck, and the cosplayer could not get it out. And this revealed a problem with Zelda's animation. You see, Link can pull the sword out in one smooth motion, but if you slow it down, the sword clips through the sheath slightly. So to fix this, Smash Bros. Animated Link to pull the sheath downward with his other hand as he pulled out the sword. But even this wasn't quite enough, meaning the animation still cheats a little. When he tried pulling the Master Sword
Oh. That movie still cheats. Okay.
off, the implant was inserted under his skin before
Why are they putting an ear in somebody's hand? Why is that happening? And why is there salt water?
salt water was injected to stretch the skin around it. Then the
Okay.
implant was removed, and the
Huh? Okay.
plastic ear was placed in. His body grew new blood
A plastic ear. Wow.
vessels into the ear, making it a living part of his arm. Next, a tiny microphone was installed inside to pick up sound. But after the site got infected, it was removed. Now he plans to grow an earlobe with his own cells and install a new microphone with Wi-Fi, which would let people listen through his third
Can let people listen to his third ear? What the heck?
ear. The implant was inserted under his skin. If you forgot where you parked, you would hit a button on your car key, and an LED light would shoot out
What type of car could have that?
of your car roof, while a mini siren started blasting. If you paid
Okay, that would be so worth it.
for premium, a drone would
Why is this question available?
Launch from your trunk, find you in the parking lot, and escort you
Why is this available?
back like you're being rescued.
What? It sounds luxury.
And if you still couldn't find it, the hydraulic system in your tires would activate, making the car bounce up and down to be more visible. Flares would also be launched from the roof, letting you and the police locate your vehicle.
Huh? Oh. You and the police look at the vehicle.
If you forgot where you slice a dozen cups,
Wait,
if you forgot
what is
where
that?
you parked, you would hit a button on
16 July, 3 million views. But why does it say patent pending? Maybe that meant is pending. Oh, okay.
slice a dozen cuts into a wooden plank, starting
Okay.
1 foot from the end, but stop just before they go all the way through. Then do the same a foot from the other end. This
Okay.
leaves a thin outer layer still holding everything together. Next, cover the cuts in wood glue and press them against a curved form, bending the wood. The cuts will close in on themselves, forming the 2 curved angles of a stylish side table.
Huh. How to bend wood without breaking it. Exactly 100,000 likes, wow.
Basically, this is the only.
The damaged cash is shredded
This might be a good video.
into thin green strips. It's then compacted, loaded onto trucks,
Okay, why is that a question?
and dumped into a field.
Why are you dumping money into a field? Well, I guess that's damaged money, so it's fine.
It's mixed with food scraps, leaves, and grass.
Why is it mixed?
Machines churn the mix into long steaming
Ew. Ew.
piles that slowly start to rot. And inside,
Ew.
the heat climbs to over 150
How does that happen?
degrees, breaking everything down. After a few months, the paper fibers are completely gone, leaving behind dark, nutrient-rich compost known as black gold. And that
Black gold. Okay.
compost is spread across farms and gardens, growing vegetables out of cash.
Whoa. Wait. That means instead of cash growing on trees, trees grow from cash. It's like the other way around.
Damaged, the frog flexes its foot, which tears the tips of the toe bones out of place. Then
It's
its
kind of bad, isn't it?
tendons pull it downwards until it rips through its skin. With a few kicks, it can slice straight through the predator's skin. And when the fight is over, the claws eventually fall back into place. After the skin heals over, the sharp claws are hidden again, at least until the next time they're needed. The frog flexes
Frog with extendable bone claws. Next.
If you smack the cold bottle down, the water inside will suddenly freeze. Now,
How can the water inside suddenly freeze when you slam the
this
bottle on the
happens when you
desk?
take pure water in a smooth bottle and put it in a freezer until it drops below
Okay, why did I just cut myself? Cut the voice of myself by unpausing the video.
freezing temperature. You see, the water needs something like a scratch in the plastic or a speck of dust in order to form ice crystals. And without these, the molecules will just stay in their liquid form. But as soon as you smack the bottle against the table, it moves the molecules around, which finally triggers them to form into crystals. If you smack the
That's pretty cool.
right as you swing, the board suddenly becomes indestructible, meaning the nail bends. But if the nail was also indestructible, then the hammer would bounce right off. Now, imagine the hammer becomes indestructible too. The
Okay.
force of the swing would go into your arm. But what if your body became indestructible as well? And
How can their body become indestructible?
And you swung the hammer down close to the speed of light.
How can you slam the hammer down at the speed of light? How can you do that?
Well, instead of the nail going in, all that energy would be released, likely creating a blinding flash and a massive shockwave.
Yeah. I watched videos of Universe Sandbox while you literally launch a grain of sand to Earth at the speed of light, and it does like damage bigger than a US state.
Everything around it except the hammer, nail, board, and you.
Okay, the indestructible nail paradox.
Always adjusting.
If you saw off a cow's horn, you'll see a hollow space that runs all the way into the skull, where it splits into several sinus chambers. And because the horn is now open, bacteria can enter, infecting those chambers and filling them with waste. So a vet will drill a hole directly into the skull and flush large amounts of fluid through it, washing out the bacteria and waste inside. If you saw off a cow, the tooth pushes out from the gum and never stops growing until it curls around like a hook, digging straight into the skull. You see, a rabbit...
You know what? I'm gonna watch my favorite, latest one. I'm gonna watch my favorite one. I'm gonna find it. Which one is it? I know, it's this.
If you poke a square hole in a piece of paper and hold it close to a wall, you'll get a
That kind of looks like the Roblox icon.
square of light and a crisp shadow. But if you pull it away, the square will slowly turn into a circle. And this is because the sun sends out rays of light, which come from every part of its round surface. When they hit the hole and come out the other side, those same rays hit the wall in the same shape as their source, making a circle of light just like the sun. And this is why the gaps between the leaves on a tree project tiny circles onto the ground. If you poke a square
Wow,
hole back in the day, Earth's land
this is also my favorite.
looked like this, and running through it was a massive mountain range stretching across. But over time, the land began to pull apart, and it split this mountain range across different continents, which is why, if you stand in Kentucky in the Appalachian Mountains, some views can look surprisingly similar to the Scottish Highlands. During productions, some filmmakers have even used one location to fake the other, because they aren't just similar, they were once the same mountains. Back in the day, Earth's
Whoa,
land looked like this.
250 million BC. That means 250 million years ago. And now I think it's time to watch the most popular shorts. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the most popular shorts right now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is the most popular one.
When you get stitches, a doctor threads a needle through your wound and pulls it tight to close the skin. As the stitches hold the edges
Ugh. That doesn't sound good or feel good.
together, the wound becomes inflamed as new cells begin to repair the tissue. Afterwards, connective tissues and collagens start to create skin. Then, blood vessels form to nourish these developing tissues, filling in the area. And over a few weeks, the wound will have healed together and the stitches are removed. When you get stitches,
That's a cool thing to learn.
if you get a splinter, Most people just go ahead and pull them out. But sometimes they get lodged so deep into your skin that you can't reach them. If the area gets infected, it will start to swell as pus forms under the skin. This creates pressure around the splinter that can sometimes push it upwards towards the skin's surface. And if you're lucky, after a certain period of time, your body could have completely removed it from your skin. If you get a splinter,
How does it look?
Have you ever noticed?
It has 5.3 million likes.
Have you ever
Same
noticed
with
how
this.
odd the McFlurry spoon is? Well, some people think it's supposed to work like a straw, but you only have to try that once to realize it does not work. The true reason for these weird spoons is actually pretty genius. You see, McDonald's didn't want to clean their beaters after every McFlurry, so instead, they designed a spoon that would also work as the mixer. Have you ever noticed how odd the
Yay, I love McDonald's.
if you shot a bullet at ancient armor, some people think it could actually stop the impact. But armor like chainmail was designed to block slashing swords. And plate armor was even better at deflecting strikes by spreading the blunt force across more area, lessening its impact. But these materials weren't very good at stopping arrows, which had enough energy to enter the armor. So a bullet would have no trouble going right through. If you shot a bullet at ancient armor, if you somehow removed all of the blood vessels in your body,
Yeah, that's a good question. How can you somehow remove all the blood vessels in your body?
and tied them together, you might think it would be about this long. But the
How can it be that long?
human body has thousands of these tiny vessels that weave in and out of every body part. And with all of them combined, if you started in New York, your blood vessels would make it all the way to the Grand Canyon. It would go on to reach all the way across the Pacific Ocean, over Japan, Asia, and all of Europe. And not only would it make it all the way back to your starting point, but it would be able to make this trip 2 to 4 times over. If you somehow
How are the vessels that big?
if you
And it has 6.1 million likes.
when a doctor gives you a
Sorry, I have cold.
shot, they can sometimes accidentally push the needle all the way through your vein, which ends up puncturing both sides. Once the needle is removed, it leaves 2 holes in the vein. And before the body can thicken the blood and seal these holes, it bleeds into the surrounding tissues. This leaked blood forms a dark, tender area under the skin, creating bruises and splotchy areas. When a doctor gives you a shot,
Brown veins.
if everyone on Earth clipped their toenails and threw them into the ocean, you might think they'd float and blanket a huge area. But toenails don't actually float, so they would pile up at the bottom of the ocean. As over 82 billion clippings rain down, it would choke fish and smother the seafloor until a massive pile broke through the surface. And after this global clipping, you would have a walkable toenail island, 10 times bigger than Central Park. If
Also, where even is Central Park? Sorry guys, I have very, very big cold. Subscribe to help by eating. But that's really interesting.
when a firing squad shoots a prisoner, one of the bullets actually isn't real. You see, one of the rifles is loaded with a blank, but it still fires and kicks back when the trigger is pulled. The soldiers aren't told which rifle it is, casting doubt on who actually shot and killed the man. This way, the soldiers can feel less guilty and sleep at night, knowing there was a chance that they weren't the one to kill him. When a firing squad shoots a prisoner, one of the bullets actually isn't real. You see, one of the rifles is loaded with a blank, but it still fires and kicks back when the trigger is pulled. The soldiers aren't told which rifle it is.
Have you ever wondered how this trick is done? It's one of those things where you know he can't actually be making the salt disappear, but it's still confusing to look at. Well, it turns out that the simplest explanation is the right one. Look closely at his hand during this shot. Do you notice how he sort of grabs his thumb here? Well, this is because he's using a prop called a Dofi finger. He holds it in his fist like a cup, fills it up with the salt, gets it onto his other thumb, and then grabs it off his thumb back into the first position. Watch it again and see if you can notice. Have you ever wondered how this trick is done? It's one of those things where you know he can't actually be making the salt disappear, but it's still...
I didn't notice that.
If you lose one of your adult teeth, the bone where the tooth once was can start to deteriorate. To prevent further damage, a dentist will fill the cavity with a synthetic material that mimics real bone. Once filled, a metal bracket is secured on top and the incision is closed. After the graft has healed, a large implant post is inserted into the new bone. Then a small metal piece is screwed in and a porcelain tooth is secured on top. If you lose one of your adult...
That is really scary because I lose my tooth very, very often, if y'all didn't know.
Have you seen a... They opened the pallet of ammunition only to find it was full of Tootsie Rolls. You see, Tootsie Roll was a code name for mortar rounds, which the Marines desperately needed. But the radio operator who received the order didn't know that and sent the actual candy instead. At first, the Marines were angry, but the sub-freezing temperatures had frozen all their food, and the candies ended up sustaining them over the next few days. They even used them to plug bullet holes by warming them up and letting them freeze in place. And eventually, the real mortar rounds did arrive. They opened the pallet of ammunition.
Okay. You know what? Let's watch my favorite type of videos. Don't ask why this is my favorite type of video. Wait, look. You see that? Now look. It's a ton of poop. By Zack D films.
They crept towards the house, keeping their footsteps light so they wouldn't be heard, all to steal a bucket of poop.
Why would people in Japan be so sneaky just to steal a bucket of poop? That is gross.
See, in Japan, poop was really valuable. Farmers
How is poop valuable?
needed it as fertilizer.
I'm not eating healthy foods from Japan. I'm only eating unhealthy foods like chips or anything which is delicious.
Helping crops grow faster, and people even traded their poop in exchange for food. Eventually, human poop became so valuable that thieves risked getting caught just to steal it. They crept towards the house. Your poop normally travels smoothly all the way
What is that explanation? Ew!
through your colon. But if you're constipated, your intestines absorb too much water from your poop. This makes it dry
What? Ew, that's gross.
and hard, causing it to move very slowly through your colon. Eventually, the slow-moving poop impacts with more poop, causing a blockage.
Ew! Why is that gross?
And this can lead to a large, hard mass that completely stops the colon from moving your poop. Your poop...
Ew. How much did he say poop? Even. What?
The dogs would poop in the streets.
Another poop.
And soon, the city was covered in it. So officials
Ew!
set up special checkpoints, and anyone who handed in poop was given a lottery ticket. Citizens rushed to pick up the poop, collecting over 14,000 bags of it. And when the raffle was drawn, the winner received a bar of real gold, all because she turned in poop.
What is the title? This city offered gold for bags of dog poop. What?
When an astronaut poops in space, their waste
Ew!
could be taken and mixed with special microbes, and these would eat the solids, releasing gas as they go. The gas could then be used to feed bacteria, which would multiply quickly. And since the whole thing would be heated to almost 160 degrees, it would kill any germs left from the poop. Next, the bacteria could be collected and turned into a paste,
You're not supposed to use that to mix poop.
which astronauts would eat. This would
I'm done with this. I'm ending the video. Bye guys. I'll see you later in the next video. Please subscribe for my code to get better. Bye guys. Bye. Okay. I hate poop videos.